Hey everybody, it's Callie here. I want to do this very short video because basically I've been coming across I'm sitting on a book. Doesn't feel good. Okay. So basically I've been coming across a lot of people who desperately need transmutation. And so I just want to quickly go over what transmutation is so that when I come across them I can say, hey, here's the video. I've talked about emotions many times in a lot of my videos, and this one has to do with emotions. So let me start from a place that is easily to understand. Okay, let's say we have a traumatic experience, or we have a moment of transference. If you guys haven't checked out any of my videos on emotion, they're there. I'm not going to be able to tag them because I'm just uploading this from my phone. So they won't be in the description link below. However, you can scroll through my videos and find and listen to every video that has to do with emotion, because that's where we get got, okay? Emotions. Emotion is energy in motion, right? And when we don't allow that emotion to flow, it gets caught in what we call our energetic body, okay? Or our emotional body. And so when we hold on to heavy or dense emotions, it depresses us, it weighs us down, it keeps us low, it keeps us vibrating at a slow and heavy frequency, which is why, you'll experience life in a more undesirable way. Okay, so, here's an example. Let's say I'm so angry. I can't really act angry, but I'm angry. I'm angry. And you're here, and I'm just so angry, and this energy, this emotion, this is just welling up inside me, and I have to release it somehow, and I hit you. Okay? I have now just transferred that energy to you. Okay? And so now you have that same energy or emotion, and what happens to save us, I'm going to try to explain this real quick because I want to get to the process of transmutation. Okay, so what happens quickly is the mind, a lot of time with extreme trauma, will split, okay? It will say, look, that's too much emotion, that's too much energy to take in, I'm going to split, we're going to suppress the emotion, and we'll deal with it at a later date. Except we don't usually deal with it at a later date. And in our society, if you're in the United States, we're not taught how to process and handle emotions. We're taught to ignore emotions, to eat them, do drugs, different things to escape our emotions. We're not taught how to acknowledge and process emotions. And honestly, emotions are very brief, okay? It takes 90 seconds to let an emotion fully go through. Maybe it's a little longer if you've been holding on to it for a long time. But that's all it takes. Just let it go. Feel it for a moment. What happens when we have these emotions is we feel it. It triggers the mind. The mind is like, whoa, I don't like it. Usually we go to something, a movie, the phone, a drug, a drink, something to block this emotion that we're feeling. We don't allow it to be processed and released, okay? So, transmutation for people who have experienced extreme trauma and extreme abuse. Transmutation is a beautiful thing. See, people want to go to energy healers, right? Energy healers, there's a time and a place. I'll be honest, I went to an energy healer, and she freaking took all my energy. For the first time in 5 years, I got sick, okay? I felt it. I was like, woo, lightheaded, dizzy. All right, now she's a good-hearted woman, but she has so much baggage she's holding on to. I mean, before she worked on me, she was crying about how she lost her mother, how she lost her father, how she lost her brother, and it's clear that she eats her emotions. Not being rude, I've been there, done that, do it sometimes if I'm feeling stressed. You'll find me with the nice sugary pop in my mouth, okay? I'm not hating. I'm definitely not hating, especially now that I'm sober. I go to food more, but I'm very controlled, and I don't eat things that are bad for my body. I don't put toxic stuff into my body. So, with that said, moving on. Okay, so the energy worker, she worked on me. I liked her. I knew her from somewhere else. She was in the same town as me. I thought, you know what, why not try energy work? But it doesn't work. And if it does, it's temporary, because the mind is the guardian of the emotional body. And if you don't go through the mind to get to the emotion, you're not going to really release the emotion. Now, you may have someone go in there and play around with your emotional body, and your mind may be like, ooh, relief. But the mind knows the truth, okay? The mind knows that you need to physically, mentally go through this energy. You can't have someone take it out for you. You have to do it. Now, here's where and how, okay? This is very valuable information. This is ancient technique, okay? It is a technique of using the mind to get to the body, and you cannot, because you gotta understand, emotions manifest physically, okay? Mental and emotional issues manifest physically. So if you have disease, if you have ailment, dis-ease, if you are in dis-easement, okay, it has to do with your emotional body. Unless it's some genetic issue, which still, genetics can be taken down to the energetic body, because that is what we are. We're energy manifested itself physically. Well, here we are. Wow. Okay, so transmutation is a process of pinpointing certain emotions trapped within our emotional body, processing, releasing, transmuting them, okay? It's called transmutation because you take negative energy that's perceived negatively and you turn it into positive energy, okay? Negative and positive is just a matter of perception. That's it, okay? We think things are negative, therefore they are negative. We think things are positive, therefore they are positive. So the goal is to turn very negative moments into positive catalyst in our life. I don't know about you, but for me, everything that I've been through has made me so strong. And not only has it made me strong, it has given me the ability to be here now talking to you about this and say, hey, this is what I know, this is what I experienced. So why not? I would go through everything I've gone through 1,000 times if I could help somebody get through what they're going through, okay? So quickly, I will go through the steps of transmutation. Okay, first you recall. You recall a really traumatic moment. This is why it's good to have someone. I go through transmutation with people. That is something I do. I did not call myself a healer because healing is something we do for ourselves. I cannot heal you. You cannot have someone heal you. Only you can work on your own healing. However, what I can do is be a support, be encouragement. I can take some of that negative energy in with you, okay? I've had people. It's not easy. It sounds easy. It's not easy, okay? It's simple. It's very simple, but it's not easy. I've had people who started to relive. Well, first you recall. You have to recall the moment. Okay, this time I had my dog. I saw my dog get beat by my ex-boyfriend. Okay, you recall the moment. Then you relive it. In this moment, oh, I felt sick. I felt terrible. I felt scared. You relive the emotions that you went through it, okay? You got to, because this is how you transmute them, process them, and release them, okay? So you recall, you relive, and you process. Okay, this is the emotion. I'm feeling sadness. I'm feeling grief. I'm feeling fear. I'm feeling anger, okay? And then somehow you have to edit to the perception, okay? So this was a really bad thing. However, I was in a cycle of very abusive relationships. Very, very abusive relationships. This relationship I had to go through to break the cycle. It was the most painful thing I've ever experienced, but it was necessary to get me to who I am today. So in that case, I am actually grateful for this very painful experience, okay? So that's the processing, and then you release it. I let it go, okay? Once you feel it, acknowledge it, edit it, you release it, you move on, okay? A lot of people like to live in the past, like to live like with their trauma because they haven't dealt with it. So with that said, this was supposed to be a short video, but I'm already 9 minutes in. Let's see if I can wrap it up because I know the attention span of all of us is very short. So with that said, having someone there is very helpful. It's not necessary. You can do this in your journal. I started out doing this. I wrote it all down, okay? Basically, to get sober, I was like, I gotta go back to all the painful moments, and I wrote it all down, and I forgave these people. They're sick. Life on earth is not easy, okay? So forgiveness is the key. That's actually part of the editing the perception, is understanding the other person, forgiving them, and with that forgiveness, you let it go, okay? So with that said, having someone there is real helpful, and I'll tell you why. I was doing some transmutation with a couple clients, and which I don't always, a lot of the time I do this for free, because I know that doing things for free is like, but it's like a lot of people are hurting, a lot of people are in a pain. My life goal, a very deep desire I have, is to start a trauma center, not a physical trauma center, but an emotional trauma center, where me, a team of people, help people get away from what they're going through. Not get away from it, but get away. It will be as like a resort in a way. They come like I don't know. Either way, help them go through their trauma. Like, these are really traumatized people. So I was sitting with someone, all right, going over the process of transmutation. It just so happened she brought up a moment that was so painful. I could feel. See, now what happens when someone shares emotion, you naturally will feel that emotion. Any empath knows that they feel the emotions of other people. So what I do is I help people process this emotion by taking it in. I take it in, I process it too with you, so you don't have to do it alone. With extreme trauma, with extreme abuse, it's good to have someone else do it with you, because you could get lost in the emotion and go insane. What happened was, this woman, she started to relive the moment. She started to recall the emotion, and once she started to feel it, she lost her mind, okay? Whoa, what's happening? I don't like this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. And I didn't even tell her to do it. I didn't tell her. I wasn't like, relive a moment. This just happened. And she got so scared, and she stopped it, and she ended up giving herself really bad chest pains, because you got to understand, the emotion tried to come out, and she halted it, and it stayed right here, because the heart is the center of the emotional body, okay? We feel it all in our heart. When we're not feeling our emotions, we're neglecting our heart, and it doesn't feel good. Our heart starts to hurt. Pain eventually is like, hey, when the heart feels pain, it's like, hey, I'm hurting. Do you hear me? I'm hurting. Do you hear me? We ignore it. The heart gets angry. Hey, I'm hurting. Do you hear me? I'm hurting. Hello. We ignore it. We watch TV. We scroll on our phone. We ignore the pain of our heart. Turns to anger. The anger gets ignored. We ignore it, or we lash out on other people. We don't deal with it. We take our anger out on other people. But eventually, when you ignore that anger, guess what? It turns to straight out rage. Can you hear me? I feel pain. You're ignoring me. I'm angry. I'm raging out now. That's when we start taking it out on other people even more, okay? And even ourselves. We start doing real destructive behaviors. So with that said, I just wanted to go quickly through the processes of transmutation. So now, when I'm talking to people, I can say, here's a video, transmutation. Because so many people are like, I feel anger every day. I feel pain every day. I'm experiencing this and this and this. And I'm thinking, you need to do some transmutation, because you're holding on to a lot of energy in your emotional body that you need to release, okay? Anxiety, depression. These are all symptoms of this unwillingness to process emotion, and it's out of ignorance. It's because we don't know. It's not because we don't want to necessarily. It's because we don't know that we are emotional beings. We think we're just mental, and it's like we're more than the mind. You are the mind, body, and okay, you're the mind and body and the energy that makes it all up. So okay, I'm already 15 minutes in. I hope this was understandable. Let me know what you guys think. If you won't, I did just do a video. Okay, so I'm gonna say, check it out. 2020 Make Money Online Challenge. Because listen, I'm trying to change my stars. I'm trying to change my life. I didn't know that my everyday habits were seriously getting in the way. I know you need self-discipline, and I discipline myself, but not in the ways that I need to. So if you're someone who wants to change your life, if you're someone who's poor, which means passing over opportunities repeatedly. Check out my 2020 Make Money Online Challenge. Check out the statistics. Most likely you're doing everything that would fall under the category of what the poor people do. So, yeah, there's some good tips in there. Or not even tips, but in the statistics itself, it's saying, okay, poor people do this, wealthy people do this. So stop doing what poor people do and start doing what the wealthy people do if you want to be wealthy, okay? Other than that, you guys all take care. If you haven't already liked my video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If not, just subscribe. I don't know. I guarantee coming up, there will be lots of stuff for you. My next video is going to be, I have a couple coming up. One is how women were never allowed to read, so reading is actually hard for them nowadays. The next is how we're programming our children with that TV. I'm shocked, okay? I'm shocked. And another one, which I'll probably be doing later today, is what to do when you love someone who doesn't love you back. All right? So stay tuned. Thank you guys all for watching. I will talk to you guys next time.